There is a fire raging inside the mind of every high performer, a fire that refuses to be touched by doubt, distraction, or defeat. But what if it's not just fire, but something almost untouchable? What keeps this fire alive when the world around is relentless, cold, and designed to tear it down? The truth is, most people don't understand how this fortress of mental resilience is built. It's not luck. It's not pure talent. It's a process, a disciplined, fierce strategy for keeping the mind unbreakable no matter what storms rage outside. First, let's talk about the pain all high performers know: pressure. The crushing weight that presses from every side, the noise of criticism, the endless expectations. Founders, investors, leaders, they live with it every day. Sometimes it feels like the walls are closing in. The clock ticks faster. The phone buzzes without mercy. The failures pile up like storms on the horizon. What feels like mental freedom is too often a cage of stress and endless second guessing. And here's the raw reality: if mental toughness isn't mastered, it will shatter everything you've fought for. But what if this pain is exactly the trigger, the fuel, that transforms a fragile mind into one that's untouchable? The secret is not in dodging struggle, but in mastering the way struggle is faced. What if the mind could be trained to see pressure not as a threat, but as a signal, a pure message to rise higher? This is where the idea of mental untouchability begins. It starts with owning your sovereignty, your personal power that doesn't bow to outside chaos. The high performer's shield is built from a ruthless refusal to hand over control of their mind to fear, doubt, or distraction. And this isn't just some motivational slogan. It is about making conscious choices every second of the day to protect what's inside. Think about the last time distraction pulled you away: the endless social media scroll, the reactive anger in a meeting, the creeping self-doubt after one small mistake. These are mental leaks, chips in your armor, and if left unchecked, they become craters that swallow your focus whole. Mental untouchability means closing those leaks. How? Through radical focus, yes, but not just any focus. A focus sharpened by clarity on your highest purpose, one that refuses to be fragmented by trivial interruptions. Every moment wasted on noise is a moment lost on progress. This is why high performers do something extraordinary. They guard their attention like it's the most valuable asset on earth, because it is. This means brutal prioritization, saying no to the seductive comfort of distractions, and yes to the hard road that sharpens the mind. But focus alone isn't enough. Mental untouchability demands an iron grip on emotions. The battlefield is not outside, but inside. High performers know the killer isn't external stress, but internal chaos. Emotions spinning out of control. Fear whispering lies. So they cultivate emotional discipline, not by bottling feelings, but by recognizing and managing them with surgeon-like precision. When panic rises, they don't run from it. They watch it, learn from it, and then use it as fuel to increase clarity rather than decrease it. Here's where most people fail. They think mental strength means no vulnerability. But the opposite is true. Mental strength means deep vulnerability, knowing exactly what's breaking you down and choosing to rebuild stronger each time. High performers don't avoid cracks in their armor. They reinforce every crack with unshakable resolve. Another cornerstone is the deliberate shaping of your environment. What surrounds you changes what you can become. Toxic people, draining conversations, meaningless tasks, they all chip away at your mental fortress. High performers ruthlessly curate their physical and social worlds. They know that mental untouchability is impossible if the environment keeps feeding chaos. Surround yourself with people who get it, people who are rare, fierce, and aligned with your vision. Energy is contagious, and so is focus. The power to choose who you engage and what you engage with becomes a cornerstone habit of mental invincibility. Next comes the absolute commitment to rest and recovery. No one can be unbreakable without space to repair and grow. The world rushes, screams, and demands attention nonstop. But you cannot fight a war on empty. High performers build sanctuaries in their routines, sacred moments to recharge. Sleep, movement, meditation, these are not optional extras. They are the maintenance crew that keeps the mind running sharp and untouchable against any onslaught. Then there's the secret weapon: reframing reality. The ultimate mental untouchability is built on one fundamental skill: the ability to redefine your story. You control not just your actions, but the meaning you assign to setbacks, friction, even failure. What if every problem wasn't a reason for despair, but a challenge to rewrite your limits? Every rejection, every loss, every doubt can be transformed into a launchpad. This shift is not natural, it's a learned skill, constantly flipping fear into curiosity, anxiety into opportunity. High performers are architects of their own narratives. They dismantle the world's script, the one that says play it safe, fit in, or limit your ambition. Instead, they write their own. This act of mental rebellion against conformity is what separates the untouchable from the vulnerable. Remember, society sells comfort, but comfort kills the fire. True mental untouchability is born on the edge, where it's hard, uncomfortable, and raw. You might be thinking this all sounds exhausting, and that's not wrong. This isn't for the faint-hearted or the passive. It's for the few who refuse to be average or borrowed, who would rather burn bright than fade away. Mental untouchability demands relentlessness tempered by wisdom. It means being sovereign of your inner world while navigating the chaos of the outer. No one is born untouchable. It's forged in the pressure cooker of relentless hustle, deep self-awareness, and the courage to reject the world's false promises. The world offers the lie of freedom, while burying your fire beneath noise, convenience, and conformity. But the truth untouchable minds know. Freedom is about being the master of your own mind, uninterrupted by fear or distraction. There is immense power in becoming mentally untouchable. It creates an unshakable foundation for building empires, leading teams, moving markets, and changing the game. When the mind won't break, external chaos becomes irrelevant. Failure no longer feels like a threat, but a teacher. Criticism becomes background noise beneath your roaring focus. So what's the first step? Look inside and identify your biggest mental leaks. Where does distraction break your focus? What emotions throw you off course? Who or what in your life drains your power instead of boosting it? Then cut those leaks ruthlessly. Choose what elevates and kill what diminishes. Build daily habits that protect your mind, the hard no's that guard your attention, and the sacred yeses for rest and recovery. Own your emotional landscape. Don't run away from fear or doubt. Invite them in. Learn their language. Then use them as fuel to sharpen instead of crack your will. Craft your environment with intention. Align with those few who ride the edge with you, those rare individuals who burn with the same fire, who understand that true progress rejects comfort and consensus. Rewrite your story constantly. Every setback isn't a full stop. It's a comma, a pivot, a challenge to become fiercer, smarter, more untouchable. And through this, know one thing clearly. Mental untouchability isn't about never falling. It's about never staying down. It's about refusing to give the world or your own doubts the power to dismantle you. The rare, the exceptional, the misaligned. This is your call to arms. This is the breaking point to build a mind unbreakable. You are not here to live some borrowed life. You are here to transcend, to dismantle illusions, to rise beyond what anyone says is possible. The world fears those who become mentally untouchable because they cannot be controlled, bought, or crushed. This is no comfort zone. This is the edge where you become the master of your fate, your mind, your reality. The movement of those who dare to own themselves, reject the lies, and build something raw and real from within. So refuse to be touched by noise, fear, distraction, and doubt. Build your armor with focus, emotional mastery, intentional environment, rest, and unbreakable narratives. This isn't easy. It isn't supposed to be. But once your mind is untouchable, the world doesn't have a choice but to move around you. And once that happens, all bets are off. This is the battlefield of greatness. Enter it with fire. Keep your mind untouchable. Never fold.